Which of these numbers round to 600? 568, 651, or 509? In this lesson, you will learn how to round to the nearest hundred by using a number line. First, let's review. Benchmark numbers are numbers that lie on the outside of a specific number. For example, 150 and 160 are the benchmark numbers for 157 when we count by tens. 157 lies in between these two numbers. On the bottom number line, if we count by 100s, 157 falls in between 100 and 200 on our number line. 100 and 200 are the benchmark numbers when we count by hundreds. Let's also review the definition of rounding. Rounding means to find a number that is close to a given number. For example, Morgan is closest to the bakery, so she will go pick up the cupcakes. And Ashley is closest to the restaurant, so she'll go pick up the pizza. The same is true for numbers on a number line. They will go to the benchmark number that is closest. Let's also review the definition of a midpoint. Here we have 400 and 500 as our benchmark numbers. Once we add the increments to our number line, we see that the middle of the number line is right at 450. 50 marks the midpoint between these two groups of 100. The midpoint marks the middle of the number line. A common mistake that many students make is thinking that the increments on a number line always signify counting by ones. But as you can see with this number line, our increments show counting by tens. Another common mistake is knowing when to round up or round down. It is important to consider the number size and benchmark numbers when rounding. Let's think about how we can use our benchmark numbers and midpoints to help us round. Here we have 1,400 and 1,500 as our benchmark numbers, with the midpoint of 1,450. Numbers less than the midpoint round down. Numbers the same as or greater than the midpoint round up. We can also take this same number line and turn it into a curved number line with the same benchmark numbers and the same midpoint. We'll use a ball to demonstrate how the numbers, if they're at or above the midpoint, will round up, and numbers that are right below the midpoint or down to 1,400 will round down. So therefore, 1,400 to 1,449 will round to 1,400. And numbers between 1,450 and 1,499 will round up to 1,500. Let's round 349 to the nearest hundred. We'll focus on the 3 because it's in the hundreds. If we use our curved number line, we know that 349 falls in between 300 and 400, and the midpoint is 350. If we place 349 on our number line, you can see it's right below the midpoint. Therefore, our number will round down to 300. Notice the 3 stays the same and the 4 and the 9 turn to zeros. Now let's round 1,472 to the nearest hundred. We'll focus on the 4 in the hundreds. 1,472 falls in between 1,400 and 1,500. These are our benchmark numbers. When we add the increments, we can see that 1,472 falls above the midpoint. The midpoint that's halfway between is 1,450. 1,472 is larger and is closer to the top number, so therefore it will round up to 1,500. When numbers round up, the hundreds place changes to the next number, so our 4 turned to a 5 and the other digits turned to a 0. In this lesson, you've learned how to round to the nearest hundred by using a number line.